There's been a major explosion at a popular restaurant in Omaha's Old Market with several reported injuries. We're following breaking news this afternoon of an officer down call in Omaha. We've learned tonight that this little boy is a twin. Paramedics brought him here to Nebraska Medicine in critical condition. Matt, they're changing right now. Earlier this morning, we had some of that freezing rain and sleet. But then it turned to those big fluffy snowflakes. Yeah, we're south of Omaha on Interstate 80, and we're in our car right now because we saw some flashes of lightning and heard some rumbles of thunder. And just now, the hail just stopped. We want to show you this residential street here, still covered in that wet, slushy snow. And check this out. This is how wet the situation here. When you hit a tree, all of it comes down as water, not as snowflake. Jen, a lot of us assume we'll just head downstairs when we hear those tornado sirens go off. But people who are choosing to rebuild in Pilger now have to look elsewhere for safety after a decision the government made years ago. Could be time to take these things, the snow scrapers, and move them from the back seat of the car to the passenger seat because they'll be riding a shotgun from now until about March. This is the sound of two parrots squawking. Just two of them. It can be annoying, yeah. It's what people living in one Columbus, Nebraska neighborhood heard all day, they tell me. Mike Riley signing autographs for people, and if you think he's popular, that's an understatement. I'm standing on the goal line right now at Memorial Stadium, and the line for Coach Riley's autograph goes all the way down to the other end zone and then starts to curl around the outskirts of Memorial Stadium.
Dre, have you seen Sound Off?
No.
You are in for a treat.
Oh, okay.
That's
all right.
Dre, I'm out.
I have not.
All right, Phil's out of here. John's coming back with a look at weather after this. Doctors here at Methodist Women's Hospital will tell you every baby in the NICU is special and is a fighter. But there's one baby inside tonight who makes history with every day of his young life. With every movement, Angel Perez defies the odds. In February, Angel's mother, Carla Perez, suffered a stroke when she was 22 weeks pregnant. Doctors soon told her mother, Berta Jimenez, Carla would never recover, but there was hope for her baby.
It was the only thing that we could do to save that baby's life. We knew that once Carla had gotten to the hospital that she had suffered her stroke and that there was nothing more that we could do for her, that she had entered in a state of coma.
Staff at Methodist Women's Hospital told her they could keep Carla alive in a coma until her baby was strong enough to survive outside the womb. Her family's only option was still a heartbreaking one.
No, it wasn't easy. She's my daughter. It was not easy, but if they could save the baby, if that's what the doctor said, then yes.
54 days later, on April 4th, Carla delivered Angel via C-section. She died 2 days after that. He's been in the NICU since then. Throughout all of this, since Carla's stroke, Berta has been at this hospital. But soon, she'll be able to bring home Angel.
I'm counting the hours to be able to hold him and have him in my home with me 24 hours a day.
When he's older, his grandmother will tell him how he and his mom made history. A successful delivery like this has only happened 33 times in recorded medical history. His doctors know this baby is special.
Absolutely, he's a fighter. I think his hardest work was before he was born, really.
I am so very proud of her. Not only did she stay alive for 54 days after what happened to her to give her baby life, but she also saved the lives of 3 other people. I'm so very proud of her.
And doctors say Angel hasn't suffered any additional complications because of his mother's coma while he was in the womb. And barring any complications this weekend, he's scheduled to go home early next week. We've learned tonight that this little boy is a twin. Paramedics brought him here to Nebraska Medicine in critical condition. Certainly an understatement to say what happened to this boy and his family is unfortunate. But in a way, they're lucky because the woman who lives next door and was able to help within seconds of that fall just happens to be a nurse. She was making dinner when Kristen Gonzalez heard her neighbor pounding at her door.
She just came over screaming, my baby fell. She's like, I know you're a nurse, go help him, and I went over there. She was on the phone with 911.
The 2-year-old fell from this window onto the patio below.
Oh my God. Being a mom, I just like, oh my God,
But then her training kicked in. Gonzalez is a licensed practical nurse. She went to work, checking the boy and giving first aid. She says he bumped his head and was extremely sore on his left side, but she believes he'll survive.
When it started setting in, it was like, oh my God, you know, it could have been so much worse.
Now, parents at the Featherstone Apartments say they're waiting for this to happen again.
It happens quite a bit around here, it really does.
Some moms blame the screens in front of the windows.
They're kind of flimsy and loose. Like, it's easy if you just like enough like a 1-year-old could just push on it and they're gonna fall through.
Others say that, combined with kids being kids, creates the danger.
Kids see it and they want to be up there playing. So I think that's a lot of it. Just the windows need something.
Until that something comes, some parents here say they'll stay wary of the windows. A man at the home where the boy fell didn't want to talk with us tonight. Those moms you heard from say they've seen and heard of kids breaking their arms or legs in those falls, and they're grateful tonight this fall doesn't appear to be fatal. We'll bring you an update on this boy's condition when we can.
Supporters call today's vote an important win. Opponents include Governor Pete Ricketts, who is threatening to veto the bill. Reporter Kevin Boughton has reaction from Lincoln.
This is the day 18-year-old Brenda Escada has waited for.
For them, it's a vote, but for me, it's my passion. It's what I've been working all my life for. I've been in school all my life to become a teacher, and they're voting on whether I could become a teacher here or not.
33 lawmakers voted for the bill that would allow people whose parents brought them to the U.S. illegally before age 16 to get professional licenses, like a teaching certificate.
At the end of the day, we're no different than anyone else. You know, we want to work hard, we want to contribute to our state, and we want to live in the state that we call home.
But this victory could be short-lived. Governor Ricketts saying it circumvents immigration law and is unfair to people who came to the country legally.
We're creating a huge injustice here if folks who are following the law are being put at a disadvantage to the people who came here illegally. And that's the big deal here.
Brenda, an 18-year-old senior at Omaha South High School, invited Governor Ricketts to come to her school and meet her classmates who are also dreamers.
There's such fuel in them that I see, and if he got to see that and he got to see how much product that could be made out of their passion, then I definitely think that he would change his mind, or at least rethink it.
Governor Ricketts now has 5 days to decide whether or not to veto the bill. If he does, lawmakers could use the very last day of the session next week to take up an override vote. It's important to remember the amount of senators who voted for this bill, 33. That's more than enough to override a veto. How have you seen the firefighting tactics change in that time? Let's recap. M's Pub suffered a major explosion earlier this afternoon. It's now affected that entire building where the restaurant's located near 11th on 11th Street in the Old Market. It's now a second alarm fire. One person has been confirmed transported to Nebraska Medicine with injuries stemming from that explosion. You're seeing a photograph now from the early response there. You can see from this great distance flames coming out of the building, flames coming out of the restaurant there. And a lot of store owners feeling awfully lonely. KMTV Action 3 News reporter Nick Starling is live now in the Old Market with more. Nick? This is the sound of two parrots squawking. Just two of them. It can be annoying, yeah. It's what people living in one Columbus, Nebraska neighborhood heard all day, they tell me. Could you imagine trying to enjoy an afternoon in your yard and this is all you hear, squawking and squabbling? Finally, the city evicted these birds, but the noise isn't why. Started as an officer-involved shooting. We've heard 2 people have been taken to CHI Creighton with critical injuries. One of those is an officer, but we don't yet know which department that officer works for.